Throughout history, warriors didn't just pick up any tool. Each axe type evolved to solve specific problems on the battlefield, offering hidden advantages that determined who stood tall and who fell. From the surgical precision of throwing axes to the bone-crushing power of massive poleaxes, every design carries secrets forged in the heat of combat. Let's uncover what made each one exceptional. Frankish throwing axe. The Francisca achieved battlefield dominance through a calculated manipulation of geometry and center of gravity. Its uniquely curved head and weighted bit were designed to create an erratic, high-velocity rotation during flight. Upon impact, this offset balance caused the axe to bounce violently and unpredictably, making it impossible for enemies to maintain a static shield defense. By bypassing traditional blocking angles, it sowed total chaos in the enemy ranks before the primary lines ever made contact. Viking Bearded Axe. The Viking Bearded Axe featured a distinct downward extension of the blade known as the beard, which increased the total cutting surface without adding excessive weight to the head. The geometry was forged to create a deep, recessed notch behind the edge, providing a specialized hooking surface that functioned through mechanical leverage. This physical configuration allowed the wielder to snag the rim of a shield or a weapon shaft and pull it downward with significant force. Its specialized hook provided a lethal advantage by opening a gap in the opponent's guard for a follow-up blow. Dane Axe. The Dane Axe utilized a massive, thin blade profile mounted on a long 5-foot handle to maximize centrifugal force and reach. The design prioritized a high-velocity swing, concentrating the weapon's entire kinetic energy into a razor-thin edge that could shear through material upon impact. By placing the heavy head at the end of a long lever arm, the geometry generated immense momentum that was far superior to shorter infantry weapons. Its raw power provided a terrifying advantage by decapitating horses and breaking shield walls with a single strike. Pollaxe. The Pollaxe was a modular anti-armor instrument featuring a weighted head, a rear-crushing hammer, and a reinforced top spike. The physical build allowed the warrior to switch between crushing steel plates and piercing narrow gaps in joints or visors with surgical precision. The head was secured with long metallic longuettes to prevent the shaft from snapping under extreme pressure or being sheared off by enemy blades. This multi-tool geometry meant the fighter could adapt instantly to an opponent's defensive posture. This versatile geometry was the decisive solution for defeating the heaviest plate armor of the era, providing a lethal response where traditional swords often failed. Halberd Axe. The halberd integrated a long spear point, a broad axe blade, and a specialized rear hook onto a single pole-mounted frame. While its extreme length kept cavalry at a safe distance, the hook was specifically engineered to catch the articulated plates of a knight's armor and pull riders from their saddles. This design utilized the massive shaft as a powerful lever to destabilize mounted opponents, neutralizing their mobility and height. The reinforced base of the blade also allowed for defensive parrying against heavy polearms. It effectively turned a simple foot soldier into a lethal threat to even the most elite noble cavalry units, changing the dynamic of medieval warfare. Tomahawk. The tomahawk was defined by a slim, lightweight blade and a perfectly centered balance point aligned with the handle's axis. This specific geometry ensured a high-velocity rotation when thrown as a projectile, maintaining maximum stability until the moment of impact. In hand-to-hand combat, its reduced mass allowed for rapid recovery after every strike, prioritizing speed and maneuverability over raw crushing force. The thin cross-section of the blade ensured deep penetration into the target with minimal resistance. Its balanced build provided a deadly advantage by allowing for lightning-fast surgical strikes in both frantic skirmishes and close-quarters engagements where every second counted. Halberd Axe. The Halberd Axe combined a heavy, cleaving blade with a sharp, forward-facing steel hook at the top of the shaft. Its specific geometry was designed for the rugged terrain of the Scottish Highlands, where the hook served a dual purpose: scaling defensive walls and dragging cavalrymen from their mounts. The massive weight of the blade concentrated maximum momentum into every downward stroke, capable of shattering heavy wooden shields. By extending the reach through a long pole, this design provided a deadly advantage by allowing infantry to engage both mounted and fortified targets with unstoppable force. Bearded Axe. The Bearded featured an incredibly long, crescent-shaped blade that was secured to the shaft at two distinct points, creating a reinforced structure. This unique physical configuration eliminated the risk of the blade snapping or loosening during high-impact strikes. The immense length of the cutting surface ensured that even a glancing blow would deliver a destructive cut. Its geometry allowed the wielder to use the weapon's own weight to drive the blade through leather and quilted armor with ease. This massive edge provided a terrifying advantage by acting as a mobile guillotine on the battlefield. Broadaxe. The broadaxe was defined by its immense, fan-shaped blade and a specialized chisel-ground edge. While primarily a tool for squaring timber, its military adaptation focused on providing a clean, massive impact zone. The specific geometry of the offset handle allowed the warrior to strike with full force without risking their knuckles against the target surface. This build concentrated all kinetic energy into a wide, flat plane, ensuring a definitive blow that could sever limbs instantly. Its design provided a lethal advantage by delivering unrivaled trauma to any unarmored portion of the opponent's body. Labres. The Labres utilized a perfectly symmetrical, double-headed geometry that provided two identical cutting surfaces. This physical build allowed for a continuous flow of attacks, as the warrior could strike with a backhand motion without needing to reorient the weapon. The centered balance point ensured that the weight did not pull the wielder off balance during high-velocity swings. This design bypassed the limitations of single-edged axes by offering a secondary edge if the first became dull or notched. Its versatile build provided a deadly advantage by maintaining a constant threat from any angle of engagement. Tabarzin. The Tabarzin featured a lightweight, all-steel construction with a distinct crescent bit designed for speed and armor penetration. Its specific geometry was optimized for cavalry, allowing for rapid strikes from the saddle without losing the weapon's momentum. The thin, razor-sharp edge was engineered to find the small gaps in chainmail and plate armor. Often featuring a hidden spike within the handle, this design offered a hidden deadliness that caught opponents off guard. Its build provided a lethal advantage by allowing for high-speed surgical precision during fast-moving equestrian skirmishes. Skeggöx. The Skeggöx was characterized by a long, narrow axe head on one side and a sharp armor-piercing pick on the other. This dual-purpose geometry was the ultimate response to the heavily armored foes of the ancient world. While the blade could deliver devastating cuts to unarmored horses, the pick was specifically engineered to focus all impact energy into a single point to punch through bronze and iron helmets. Its lightweight build ensured that the warrior could maintain high-velocity strikes for extended periods. This design provided a lethal advantage by offering a dual-threat capability in a single, agile frame. Ono Axe. The Ono featured a massive, high-density steel head with a thick, wedge-shaped bit designed for heavy structural breaching. Its geometry focused the weapon's entire mass behind a broad edge, creating enough momentum to splinter reinforced temple gates and heavy wooden defenses. Unlike thinner blades, the Ono's profile was engineered to absorb the shock of hitting solid objects without chipping the steel. This build allowed the warrior to deliver crushing blows that ignored the protection of traditional samurai armor. Its raw power provided a terrifying advantage by collapsing defenses through sheer weight and kinetic impact. Halberd Axe. The Halberd was a single-piece throwing weapon forged from high-carbon steel, featuring multiple radiating points and sharpened edges on every side. Its geometry ensured that the center of mass was located at the exact center of the weapon, allowing for a stable, predictable flight path when thrown. Every extension was tapered to a sharp point, ensuring that regardless of the weapon's rotation at the moment of impact, at least one lethal edge would strike the target. The flat profile made it easy to carry in bulk and throw in rapid succession. Its multi-pointed design provided a terrifying advantage by ensuring a successful strike no matter how it landed. Executioner's Axe. The Executioner's Axe was engineered for gravitational momentum, featuring an exceptionally broad and heavy head with the mass concentrated at the extreme edge. The geometry prioritized a wide, flat profile to stabilize the blade's path through the air, ensuring it would not twist or deviate during the downward arc. The edge was ground with a long, shallow taper to minimize friction and ensure a single, clean pass through the target. The massive pole at the back provided the necessary weight to maintain edge alignment through sheer inertia. Its immense mass provided a grim advantage by ensuring a clean one-hit result with every strike. Horseman's Pick. The horseman's pick was a specialized weapon featuring a heavy axe blade on one side and a long, curved, armor-piercing spike on the other. This geometry was the ultimate evolution of the anti-knight arsenal, designed to concentrate the entire force of a mounted charge into a single point. While the axe blade could clear infantry, the spike was engineered to puncture through reinforced steel helmets and breastplates. The long, narrow profile of the spike ensured it would not get stuck after a successful hit. This dual-purpose build provided a lethal advantage by being the only weapon capable of breaching full-plate armor consistently. If you want to follow along and understand more about the hidden mechanics of war axes, subscribe right now. Before you go, leave a comment telling us which axe design surprised you most or which one you'd choose if you had to step onto a chaotic medieval battlefield. Your choice might just inspire our next video. Thanks for watching.